MCQs on the Introduction to Treasury Management. See, today the treasury of the bank is, so treasury of a bank is a cost center, profit center, service center, or none of the above. So in today's word, the treasury of a bank is evolved as the profit center for the bank, right? So option 2 is the correct answer. Next, which of the following market does treasury deal? So in which market treasury is dealing? Money market, derivative market, capital market. So correct option here is the all of the above. Treasury deal in the money market, derivative market, and the capital market. The term profit center was coined by who has given the term profit center? So correct answer here you directly remember. Don't go to the option. Peter Drucker in 1945 given the term profit center, right? Who gave the term? Profit center term coined by the Peter Drucker. Which one of the following is not a reason for a treasury of a bank becoming the profit center? So see, why treasury is a profit center? Because see, it mainly operates in interbank market where credit risk is minimal. It is correct. It deal in the instrument product which do not have the market risk. So it is a wrong statement. It deal in the instrument at the market where obviously it have the market risk. So it is a wrong statement. Then treasury, the operational cost of a treasury is minimum. Yes, because staff is less. So it is correct. It is a correct, which is not correct. So treasury deal in the market where market risk is there. Okay, so it is a wrong statement which you have to find the not a reason. So second you have to mark as the option. Okay, next question. Which one of the following is the reason for treasury doing investment in the excess money? So why treasury is doing the investment? Simply so to maintain the liquidity, for a profit maximization, to maintain the CRR, SLR, all of the above. So here correct option will be all of the above, right? You have to mark the fourth option. Chief dealer in a treasury is in charge of. So we know chief dealer is the in charge of back office, mid office, front office. So correct option here will be is the in charge of front office where all deal is happening. Who in the treasury of a bank usually buy or sell the commercial paper? Now friends, see here, buying and selling of the commercial paper is happening here. Commercial paper is a part of money market instrument. So first option, money market dealer who is a part of mid office. So whether a dealer is a part of mid office? No, dealer is the part of front office. So it is wrong. Derivative dealer who is a part of front office. See, derivative dealer is a part of front office. It is a correct statement. But commercial paper is not a derivative, right? Forex dealer who is a part of front office. It is correct. However, for the commercial paper is not an instrument of the forex. So none of the above. So which you will mark? You will mark here the fourth option, none of the above, right? So what can be the most correct option? Most correct you can find out like that. The money market dealer who is the part of the front office. So if money market dealer is a part of front office, then it can be the correct option, right? So however, no option is correct here. You can mark fourth option. So fourth is the correct answer here. Which one of the following product does treasury not deal? So in which product basically treasury is not dealing? Okay, so we know treasury deal in the forward contract, interest rate swap. So these are the derivative product. However, the syndicated loan is not a type, not a function of a treasury. So treasury does not deal basically in syndicated loans. Next question. Which one of the following does not add the profitability of an integrated treasury in bank? So which does not contribute to the profit? So see, cost effective sourcing liability, proper transfer pricing, yes. Effective utilization of the fund, yes. Cost effective sourcing of a liability, yes, it is correct. So which you have to mark fourth. All are contributing to the profit of the integrated treasury. So fourth option is the correct answer. Which is the main type of risk which bank treasury is associated with? So in treasury, which risk is mainly associated? So it is a market risk, operational risk, credit risk, all of the above. So in treasury, main risk they are asking main risk, right? Main. So mainly treasury is associated with the market risk, right? Mainly market, all are there. However, the main risk which contribute the major part of the risk is the market risk. So first is the correct option. Which one of the following is not a function of the integrated treasury? Not a function of integrated treasury. So let's check out the option. ALM, asset liability management, it is a function. Operational cost management of the bank. So managing the operational cost of the bank is not a function of a treasury, right? Then help in the liquidity and the fund management, it is the function of the bank. However, which option you will work, right? So option number 2 is correct, that operational cost management of a bank is not a function of a treasury. Which one of the following is not a source to find, not source of profit to the treasury? So see, selling and purchase of a foreign exchange for importer exporter is a part of treasury. Selling government security corporate bond to the exporter is a part of security, is a part of treasury. However, selling of the gold coin is not a work of a treasury, not a part of treasury, right? So first option here is the correct answer. What does the term proprietary mean from the point of view of a treasury? So what do you mean by the proprietary position? See, proprietary means what? Simply, see, let's go through the option. Where a bank treasury undertake buy sell on behalf of the borrower, on behalf of bank borrower. Bank borrower means the transaction which are done for the customer, right? So these are not a proprietary position, right? The bank treasury undertake buy sell on behalf of bank itself. So when the transaction is done for the bank itself to earn the profit for the bank, it is the proprietary position. So second is the correct option. Bank treasury undertake on behalf of depositor means for a customer, it is not a proprietary position. So you have to mark second option. Second is the correct answer. Which unit of a treasury is responsible for the market risk management? So which unit of a treasury? So front office is simply the dealing room, back office is for the risk management, and back office is for administration, and the mid office is for the risk management, right? Very easy. So you have to mark third option as the mid office, because mid office is responsible for the risk management in the treasury, right? Mainly market risk. So option third is correct answer. To whom the mid office in charge will report? So mid office is responsible for the treasury, right? To whom it will report? Simply see, chief dealer, MD, CEO, chief treasury officer, or the chief risk officer. So mid office head will directly report to the chief risk officer of the bank, right? So here definitely you have to mark fourth option as it is the correct answer. Next, what are the two reserve requirement that treasury has to comply with? So treasury is responsible for managing which reserve, right? So see the option MCLR, SLR. MCLR is not a rate which you have to maintain some reserve. MCLR is simply the rate. CRR, SLR, right? It is the correct answer. CRR, SLR is managing the CRR, SLR is the responsibility of the treasury. Okay, not even repo and CRR, VAR, CRR. Remember, right? Simply the CRR and the SLR management should be done by the treasury, right? So second option you have to mark. Hence, second is the correct answer. Integrated treasury in the banking setup refer to. What do you mean by integrated treasury? Right? Simply, see, computerization means integration. No. Computerization of all treasury operation, wrong. Centralization of a back office operation with the forex, wrong. See, what is integrated treasury? Simply integration of three different market. It may be the money market, security market, and the forex market. When you combine that three market at one place, we call it as the integrated treasury, right? So you have to mark the fourth option as the correct. So correct answer is option number 4. Which is the important operational feature of integrated treasury? Okay, now see, having a common dealing room. So there will be the common dealing room. Having a mid office and back offices, yes. Looking for the interest arbitrage across the currency market, it can be the position to shift swiftly. A placement in rupee denominated commercial paper to do dealing in the USD in the global interbank market, also being a source of fund in the global market, and swap the fund into domestic currency and vice versa depending on the market opportunity. So yes, it is the work of a treasury. So which option you have to mark? You have to mark all of the above, because all are correct option which are the function of a treasury or feature of a treasury. Hence fourth is the correct answer. Treasury in a normal course will manage. What treasury is managing? See, all fund raised through the deposits, all deployment of fund through advance liquidity. So basically, treasury is in daily normal course have to maintain three books, right? Which we have learned: the ALM book, the merchant book, and the trading book. So most correct option here is the ALM book. ALM is for the risk management. Merchant is for the customer transaction, and trading book is for the bank's own transaction, where bank is taking the proprietary position to earn the profit for the bank, right? So in that way, fourth option is the most correct. You have to mark answer as option number 4. Globalization referred to. What is globalization? It is a fully convertible of all currency. So what is a globalization? The term globalization is a fully convertible of all currency in the world. It is not accurate. Removal of all trade barrier in the world. It is not accurate. Fixed rate of exchange on all currency. No, it is the just opposite to the globalization. The process of integration of a domestic market with the global market, and by the way of what? Simply free capital flow and a minimum regulatory requirement. That is the basic definition for the globalization, right? That means Indian market should be connected with the global market, where the restrictions should be less and easily you can transfer and collect the money. That is internationally, right? That is simply the meaning of globalization, right? Hence, option number 4 is the correct answer. Which of the following statement is not a true way to find, right? So see, Treasury operate in the market with a high credit risk. Whether is a true statement. Treasury activity is highly leveraged and return on capital is also very high. So it is a obviously true statement. Operational cost in Treasury is very low because as compared to the branch banking, it is also true, right? However, Treasury operate in a market with a high credit risk. It is a wrong statement. Why? Because the Treasury operate in the market, for example, say the money market, where bank to bank lending is happening. One bank is lending money to other bank. It can be called money term money or notice money. However, there the credit risk is almost nil. So first option we have to mark, it is the wrong statement, right? So in Treasury money market, credit risk is almost nil. So first is the wrong option. So you have to select option number 1. Liquidity risk is reflected as dash dash, which is the gap in dash dash. So what is the liquidity risk? So liquidity risk is reflected as dash dash, which is a gap in dash dash. So very simple. What is the liquidity risk? Liquidity risk is the simply reflected as the maturity mismatch between the asset liability, which is basically the gap in cash inflow and cash outflow, right? So first statement here itself, first option itself your correct option. So liquidity risk is referred as NPA, it is wrong. It is the committed line, wrong. Total cash held, wrong, right? So simply very easy, right? You can easily read the option and mark. So correct option here is the option number 1. Profit may be optimized exploiting the market opportunity in. So we have to find which is not true. So how basically Treasury is earning the profit in which markets, right? First option, forex market, yes, it is the correct. Then money market, yes, it is correct. Then security market, yes, it is correct. However, the stock exchanges, at the stock exchanges in the way of by way of speculation. So Treasury does not deal in speculative market, right? So third option you can mark here as the correct answer. Government security, that is the GSEC, may be issued by the RBI with a maximum tenure up to. So what can be the maximum tenure for the government security? First option, see the 30-year, the tenure decided by Government of India, 10-year none of the above. So obviously when government releases the government security, the tenure is generally decided by the Government of India itself, right? Okay. So option number 2 is correct answer. Integrated Treasury is a position to operate across the sector, and across the currency market in search of. So why integrated Treasury basically working, right? So higher returns, yes, option is correct. Mobilizing low cost fund for the liquidity needs, that is asset liability management part, right? So one is correct, 2 is also correct. So which option you will mark, A only or both? So correct option you can mark here both of the above. So fourth option is the correct answer. Which one of the following not user? They are asking not user to hedge the currency or the interest rate risk. So not user to hedge the risk. So see, forward, option and swaps, these are the derivative which are used against the risk, to hedge the risk, to minimize the risk. However, securitization is a different concept, right, which is used for the purpose securitizing the loans whatever we are giving. Securitization is different concept, right? So securitization is simply the financial process which pool the liquid asset such as loan or receivable and package them into the tradable security, that is the securitization. So here It is completely different, right? So option number 1 you can mark as the correct answer. The integrated treasury refer to integration of which of the following? So integrated treasury is simply integration of what, which is not correct, we have to find, right? So money market can be the part of integrated treasury. Security market is a part of integrated treasury. Forex operation is a part of integrated treasury. However, credit appraisal is a different process which is not a part of treasury. So fourth option you have to mark, hence fourth is the correct answer. The difference between the buying and selling is called. What is the difference between buying and selling? In the first unit itself we have learned the difference between buying and selling. Whatever we are getting, it is called as the profit, both or none. So in technical term we call it as the spread. So difference between the buying and selling is in technically it is the spread. Okay, so option 1 is correct. The treasury transaction with customer is called as. So when the treasury is doing transaction with the customer, it is whether it is a trading business, investment business, none of the above. So correct option here you have to mark is the merchant banking business. Merchant banking itself means we are doing transaction for the customers, right? So for doing transaction for the customer, it is the merchant banking business of the treasury. So option number 1 is correct. Which of the following statement is true? We have to find the true statement. See, bank buy foreign currency from the customer in case of importer. Bank sell foreign currency to the customer in case of exporters, right? Bank sell foreign currency in interbank market, none of the above. So we have to find the true statement. Friends, you have to understand one thing right here, because this is also important for with respect to your first unit in the BFM. So see, bank sell foreign currency in interbank market, it is the most accurate answer here. However, so when import and export is happening, see, for example, if importer offer that we have to sell the $2 million, we have to send the $2 million. Importer says that to the bank, $2 million you have to send to the USA. At the same time, what bank will do? Bank will go into the interbank market and purchase the $2 million and will send them to the USA, because the bank is not having that much of a dollar with bank, right? So bank first will purchase from the interbank market and then will sell to the other, that is USA. However, if in case of exporter, the bank has received $2 million, so bank will collect that and bank will send it to the, sell it into the interbank market. So bank will not keep the foreign currency with the bank itself. Why? Bank has to go to the intermarket and buy or sell that currency to get a rupee equivalent, so that bank can meet the needs of customer, right? So obviously when there is a buying and selling of currency is happening, the interbank market is always open for the bank, where bank deal. Okay, so most accurate answer here is the option number 3. So you have to mark option number 3 as a correct answer. Which technology of the future to be used in treasury is likely to facilitate and speed up the batch processing of the payment, assist in the reconciliation of the payment? So which technology basically helping in treasury for the batch processing and reconciliation of payment? So it is not robotics, it is not robotic, not a machine learning. So correct option is the API, application program interface. So API is helping in the treasury for processing of the payment and reconciliation. So option number 3 is correct answer. Which one of the following is the main reason for bank treasury embracing technology? Embracing, what do you mean by embracing? Embracing means accepting the technology. So why treasury now accepting the technology? So obviously why we accept the technology? Very simple. Speed up the transaction processing, improve the accuracy and enhance the efficiency, right? So option number 4 is most accurate here. So option number 4 is correct answer. Which one of the following is not a characteristics of the robotics, right? So which is not a characteristics of robotics? So it can do the repetitive task, it can speed up the transaction process. However, they are capable of dealing the structured derivative. So it is a wrong statement. The robots are not able to do work in the structured derivative. Why? Simply see, structured derivative are the derivative which are complex derivative, which are more complex. So robotics cannot deal in the structured derivative, because it is a combination of two or more. It is a combination of two or more. That's why robotics cannot deal in the structured derivative. Option number 2. Which is that advanced technology which is capable of using a treasury database to learn and to do the task that it own? So what is it? Simply, it is the machine learning. It is the machine learning is a technology which is capable of using Treasury database to learn and do the task at their own, right? So option number 1 itself it is correct. In India, structured derivative, what is a structured derivative basically? It is a credit derivative, it is the interest rate derivative, or what? So simply learn that the structured derivative is either a combination of two or more generic derivative or combination of a cash instrument and one or more generic derivative, right? So it is just a combined derivative. Just remember here itself, it is just a combined derivative, structured derivative. Option number 3 is correct. Credit default swap is, what is credit default swap? Name is indicating credit. So you can easily judge the option. It is simply the credit default swap is for the credit derivative. Option number 3. So friends, here we will stop. We are having the Android application. The name of application is Banker Zone CAIIB. You can download the application Banker Zone CAIIB from the Play Store, where you can learn through the full courses of CAIIB. Thank you friends.